Hello, I'm Bob Walker, Vice President of Technology. In this review, we will look in some detail at the two findings that were cited in the 2019 state audit. The tasks and projects that had to be completed to remediate these two audit findings were summed up under 1. Protecting sensitive information, where both issues were remediated, and 2. Access, security, and contingency planning, where all 12 issues were remediated. Finally, we'll take a look at what we're expecting with this year's audit. I want to recognize Chad Coleman for everything he has done to stay on top of this all year. He had help from many others in the department and throughout the college, and we appreciate all of their great work. Now we'll look at two issues related to protecting sensitive information. The first is that our data classification policies and procedures were not implemented a year ago. We now have a data governance committee working to classify and describe our data. The second involved our outdated disaster recovery and business continuity plan. This plan was recreated from scratch this year to include all mission-critical systems and services, as well as other needed information. The next 12 issues are related to data and system access, security, and contingency planning. First, security classes and roles were less clear and were not regularly reviewed. They are now and will continue to be. Second, work study student accounts were not closely managed. They are now, and this procedure will be maintained. Third, shared accounts and vendor accounts were not closely managed. We now do so and will maintain this practice. Fourth, we were not consistent with password length, complexity, and duration. We are now, and this policy will continue to be enforced. Fifth, we were not actively monitoring direct colleague system activity by those with administrative rights. Ellucian is now monitoring our cloud-based systems and providing those logs for our review. Sixth, we were not following our policy to document and review security incidents. We now track, review, and document these using our ticketing system. Seventh, we were actively scanning our systems but not reviewing the results of those scans. We now actively review the results of cloud-based systems as well as our locally hosted internal and external systems. Eighth, we were not monitoring vendor service level agreements. We now monitor these to ensure that vendors meet all contract terms. Ninth, our disaster recovery and business continuity plan was dated and lacked necessary detail. This plan was rebuilt from scratch to include current procedures and contact information. 10th, the same plan did not include a schedule to test the plan and use the results to improve that document. The revised plan addresses these needs and includes tabletop testing and revision. 11th, staff were not trained in preparation to implement the disaster recovery and business continuity plan. The new plan's tabletop testing will serve as a walkthrough to train the response team and ensure our preparedness. And 12th, backups did not encrypt sensitive information. This process has been revised, and Ellucian is encrypting sensitive data in our cloud environment while we handle all local data. That addresses all of our prior year audit findings. Now we'll look at what we are expecting for the 2020 state audit. We learned this week that the audit team will be using the same criteria as last year. We have invited the audit team to begin their work with us early this year. Our discussion with the full audit team this week indicated that we are well prepared for this audit. We're not expecting any written findings this year, though we do expect verbal encouragement to continue the improved policies and procedures we've put in place. That's my good news for this month, and I'd be happy to field any questions you may have.